Hello, welcome back to the Good, Bad and Stupid News. It's Tuesday, August the 27th. Bank Holiday Blues. I've got them. You've probably got them. Shitter of a day, Tuesday after Bank Holiday, isn't it? You just want it to be the weekend again. Or not necessarily the weekend, you just don't want to be at work, do you? The sun is still shining though, so hopefully you're outdoors. Because shitter looking out the window at it when you've had such a brilliant weather weekend. I've done nothing much than lie around in the sun, so it's been good really. Not productive. I didn't do a podcast yesterday because I said I was gonna, but I didn't realise it was Bank Holiday Monday, so I decided not to do it. And like everybody else having the day off, I'm having the day off. I actually went down to look at all the mods and the scooters, and they've been down all weekend, the mod weekend in Brighton. They come down every August bank holiday, so I was out looking around at the bikes and the mods and the clothes and whatever else. So it was good photo opportunities, and just it's really interesting, isn't it? And I met this guy who his name's Roy. I forget what his full name is. He needs to put his name on the flyer thing here. But anyway, he had the original Union Jack scooter, the only scooter from the Quadrophenia film that's still around. It's called the Union Jack scooter. And he's got loads of stories about the Quadrophenia and the cast and the crew and everything like that. And I've got loads of pictures of it, but obviously I can't show them because they're in my phone and stuff. But this is the guy there, and he's got loads of stories about the cast. And it was the 40th anniversary of the film this year. I think he said 40. Yeah. Anyway, I got a photo of it I'm on the bike, and he just gave me a few little anecdotes about the film. I'll tell them to you. The Union Jack scooter was originally put the Union Jack for the Queen's Jubilee. That was the reason that it was covered in the Union Jack, and then it came to fame when it was used as a bike extra, if you like, in the film Quadrophenia. And now it's obviously world famous, and he does tours of all different sort of corporate events, cast reunions and whatever else. And anyway, there's loads and loads of stuff around the Quadrophenia film on down in Brighton there. So anybody's interested in him, I said I'd give him a shout out anyway. It's unionjackscooter.co.uk. Is available for talks and for events and stuff like that. And it's just an amazing bike when you're up close to it. Anyway, so yeah, that was good. The Not Evil Carnival and everything was on this weekend as well, wasn't it? I didn't actually go to that. I've only been once, but it was amazing when I went. But it's packed, absolutely packed, and it was like would have been roasting hot there up there this weekend. So I had to pick one or the other. So I was down on the beach in Brighton. I wonder why I was feeling a bit groggy though, because it says here that residents in Brighton were told to keep their windows shut as a blaze at a waste tip caused toxic fumes. And that was me feeling a bit groggy. I was thinking I feel a little bit fucking groggy here off the sun, drinking the sun, and maybe I wasn't actually groggy off either then. Maybe I was poisoned by the toxic fumes floating past. Fucking because saying keep your windows closed. What about if you're outside? You can't keep your nose closed, can you? Or your fucking mouth closed. So I might have been poisoned. No wonder I'm groggy today. Forget about the drink and the sunshine and the parties I didn't have. It's just that toxic fumes from the what's it called? The rubbish tip. Rubbish tip on this. Usually that's the place everybody goes, isn't it? On the rubbish tip. On the bank holiday, you know, then people, there's massive queues going into the tip like it's the fucking day to do all your to get rid of all your shit and your grass cuttings and your bits of old tree and all that. They all just queue up, but like wouldn't have been nice in any queue going into the tip this weekend. No, so anyway, I basically took the decision to do no work, no podcast, no nothing other than chill, and it's been good, but I'm knackered from the fumes. But we're going to try and get through this quickly. I've already wasted 5 minutes talking about me, so let's get on with what we're here to do. First up, let's get the miserable shit out of the way first. The cops are defending their decision not to probe into Prince Andrew sex claims that he had sex with a teen by his that was trafficked into Britain by his pal Jeffrey Epstein, and they say that it was a correct decision. Their review not to act on claims were correct and entirely appropriate. Well, not really, considering, that's just, if you look at it compared to other cases. I mean, they're not going to probe into Prince Andrew or do anything with regards to questioning when people have made allegations, when they went to fucking town on, what's his name, Cliff Richard, didn't they? They fucking tore him inside out and, printed everything, fucking had him raided his house, helicopter, photographs, destroyed him. And then you got the other thing, the paedophile case, where the random guy accused all the politicians and high profile figures or whatever, the fat fucking idiot guy who basically came out and just made these fanciful claims and whatever. They ripped, that all came out and they went to town on that, didn't they? They pretty much believing him and then dragging everybody into the police station. But no, when it comes to Prince Andrew, we're not going to follow up any allegations because it's right and correct that we don't. So make your own mind up about whether that's the right fucking decision or whether they're just, been told, don't get your fucking, we don't want anything near the royal family regarding this. So there must be a bunch of sweeper-uppers or, people ahead of everything trying to fucking clear up before it gets anywhere. Like putting fires out so that it doesn't actually get to the press. Not saying he's done anything wrong, but standard procedures are standard procedures. You ain't doing it to fucking everybody else. You've got to do it to him, haven't you? Metal detectorists, well, we're going to move on from that anyway, but metal detectorists were rushed to hospital. Why metal detectorists? Were rushed to hospital after eating a 50th birthday cake laced with cannabis. Sounds like a party. I don't understand why they're calling them metal detectorists like it's important to the story. I don't think it's got fucking any relevance at all. At least 15 people tucked into unaware it was contained the drug, and some were said to have been writhing in agony on the floor as an ambulance raced to the scene. Well, that's not very nice, but 13 needed hospital treatment. It was probably because they didn't know what was going on. If they'd been told, don't worry, you're high, you've had a bit of weed, they'd probably go, oh, and laugh it off. But when they don't know, when the head starts going funny, when they just had a bit of fucking birthday cake, probably shit themselves. But a woman aged 48 was arrested during the 3-day Coil to the Soil Detectors Festival near Doncaster. That don't sound like a party. Well, it don't sound like one that's very interesting to go to. The 3-day Coil to the Soil Detector Festival. One victim said that the man who handed out the cake that had been made for him was also in the dark. He added, "Whoever did this is sick." Well, it's not a nice thing to do. You've practically spiked people, haven't you? But maybe it was tongue in cheek because they haven't found, they've hid something in the soil, i.e. the cake, and so they found something else that day. So they were, if they thought they was off duty, not looking for things in the soil, they found something hidden in the cake. It's very tenuous at best, but anyway, I'm sure they survived and had big munchies afterwards and whatever else. But next time you spike people, tell them first, or give them the option. I'm pretty sure most of them would have took it anyway. A Jet 2 flight bound for Madeira was forced to make an emergency landing at Porto after the pilot was taken ill. This is a crazy story because the guy fell ill. The guy passed out. The pilot passed out, and there's only the co-pilot left. He probably could have dealt with it anyway, but they ended up having help from a pilot who happened to be travelling in the plane, who helped land the plane. I just imagine being on that flight. I mean, what was it like, a scene from that film Airplane, isn't it? Where they go, does any come through? How did they know this pilot happened to be sitting in the back? They must have gone out and gone, does anybody know how to fly a plane? You know, like they do in that film, and fucking everyone would just like shit themselves, and just piece of very fortunate circumstance. Some bloke goes, I'm your man, I can fly. And he goes and helps the co-pilot. The co-pilot probably could have done it by himself anyway, but we have to be. How do they deal with that situation anyway? I mean, obviously clear that it can happen. A pilot can pass out, leaving one person left to fucking fly the plane. So luckily another guy's come on and they landed, and everybody's got a story to tell, and they survived, went on their holidays. The rare white rhino may live to see another day. 7 eggs from the world's last 2 remaining northern white rhinos have been fertilised artificially, reviving hopes of saving the endangered animals, scientists have revealed. The world's last male rhino is already died, so there's only 2 female rhinos, and they've had their eggs, what's it called? Artificially inseminated with his semen or whatever. But yeah, that's brilliant. But fucking how? And I'll put there's a quote here that says, someone said, where is it? It would have been better not to have got to the last 2 individuals before using this technology. It would have been better that we didn't get anywhere near the last 2 individuals to ever have to fucking need that technology. I think it's just a sign of the times, anyhow. So you can add it to like the Extinction Rebellion or with the climate change, with anything that you can think of where there's a potential disaster. I mean, this is the disaster for the rhino, disaster for any animals like the Brazilian fires, whatever else. They always wait till it's down to the last fucking critical situation and then do something about it and have to fucking bring it all the way back. No one just lets the fucking capitalism that's destroyed everything and ruin, not necessarily capitalism, but I'm saying that the chase for money, for profit, for progress, to destroy all the environments, and then when it gets to the last stage, when everybody's milked everything they can out of it, then they reverse it and try and do something about it when it's fucking too little too late, or just seen as a token gesture of bullshit. You know, there's 2 female rhinos left. They should never ever get to that situation. The reason there's fucking people buying the rhinos, I mean, that should just be, that could be stopped one way or some way or another, you know. There's people obviously having to pay ridiculous amounts of money. Why don't people like in the Chinese come out and say, look, is it Chinese, just Chinese who buy that stuff? I'm sure there's collectors and everything as well, but if it's down to medicinal properties, somebody needs to stand up and say, look, we've checked it and there's no medicinal value to the rhino horn at all. It's absolute bullshit, because it is bullshit anyway. And every other factor or form of animal sort of exploitation or whatever, elephants or whatever else, or just fucking force any kind of people who are caught poaching to die by the sword, by having a fucking rhino horn shoved up their arse until they die, until they die. Yeah, cover it in some kind of fucking lube. I was going to say some kind of poison or something to make it extra painful. Just do, you know, anything to put people off. But anyway, got down to the last 2 rhinos, and then we go, oh, better do something about that. Let's fucking spend all our time now trying to create a rhino population when there was plenty of one in the first place. Speaking of rhinos, a zoo has condemned the stupidity of 2 visitors who scratched their names on a rhino's back. I mean, these are just idiots, but still, they should have. A 35-year-old animal was pictured earlier. So basically, this zoo allows you to stroke the rhinos. You shouldn't be able to stroke rhinos. They shouldn't be that domesticated that you can stroke them. You've just got to keep the fucking divide between them, but apparently you can stroke them. And And this person went further by scratching their names into the back, like Dave for I don't know, Sue or whoever their names were. That's just stupidity. They should have been told to clean up the rhino's shit for the next 3 weeks or something like that, as punishment. It's a stupid thing to do, but they should get a stupid punishment. Yeah, my opinion. 1 in 10 Brits would dump a partner if they turned vegan, a poll found. Well, that's just, and why? Because they're not cooking for you, or how could it work the other way? What about 1 in 10 Brits would dump their partner who didn't turn vegan as well? We could do it the other way, couldn't you? They're kind of being anti-vegan there, aren't they? They're trying to say the arrogant behaviour was the top reason for leaving a lover for nearly half the people, with bad manners close behind. That's just small-minded, isn't it? Should be more of a what's it called? Flexitarian. Try new things. If somebody wants to go, then you should encourage your partner. Yeah, you should be encouraging them to make decisions like that, not chastising them. Quote of the day. I've got nothing else to say on that other than, what's the other one? There's another one about Jim. If someone was, it sounds like it's always the fat fuckers who were sitting moaning, if you turn vegan, I'm gonna I'll leave you. And then they said if somebody becomes obsessed with the gym, they'd also leave them, because it's like a reflection on them, really, isn't it? They're saying, oh, I fucking can't go to the gym, and you're going there 4 times a week. What about me? Yeah, obsession gym goers. I get the elbow as well, but I suppose you can be a little bit over the top, can't you? Maybe you're a vegan and you're just drinking broccoli juice and you're just becoming over and over the top. So maybe the far extreme, and your partner's far the other way, wants to sit scratching his nuts or her nuts in front of the TV with a Kentucky bucket on the lap, and the last thing they wanted to see is you doing press-ups in the middle of the living room and fucking squat thrusts and everything, and when you don't know when to take a day off. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, everything in moderation, or do it out of sight. Those kind of things, fucking do someone's head in with it, because you're kind of forcing your fitness onto someone, aren't you? And they don't like it because they're going, oh, I can't be bothered to do that, and you're making me feel bad. So I'm out of here. Anyhow, quote of the day, Kim Kardashian. I'm at this place now where I am not concerned anymore about fame. What, when you've just banked all the fucking millions, you've milked and milked and milked your so-called brand, and now I'm at a place, I'm at a relaxed place now where I'm not concerned anymore about fame. Fame was that's all you've got is fame. You're kind of famous for nothing. So really, fame is your fame. So without the fame, you're nothing. Or she's saying she's developed something now, and now she wants to skip on to something else. She's got all the money, milked it. Or has it dawned on her that fame is just fucking shallow and boring, and you can't take a day off, can you, when you're like that, when you're famous for nothing, or you're famous just for photographs, famous for walking out. It must be exhausting. You know what I mean? You must fucking have to. You can't go out of the house with a bad hair day or anything like that, can you? You've got to be top of the pops every time you fucking move out into any kind of space, because somebody's gonna make money off the photographs. But that's what you want. If you want the money and you want the honey, you got to pay the price, don't you? Because you've got no talent. There's plenty of talented people. You don't know what the fuck they're doing in their private life, do you? There's loads of stars. I mean, I don't know where to go. I don't know. Let's talk about Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. All kinds of there's famous actors really, you don't know what they're up to in their private life. They could have people fucking following them left, right, and centre. You don't really. It's the odd thing, but people aren't interested in them because they're not out courting it. So, I don't know why I picked those two, but there's plenty of others. I just can't think off the top of my head, and I ain't got time to drag it on because I've got other shit to go through. Harry Styles has admitted to taking magic mushrooms. This is where what's he saying? He's taking magic mushrooms, and this is obviously an attempt to selling his new record because he was taking magic mushrooms and sitting on the floor listening to a Paul McCartney album. So anyone wants to see whether his magic mushrooms have had a creative effect on him and whether he sounds anything like Paul McCartney, listen to his new record, because he was taking magic mushrooms in the recording studio. Apparently he bit his tongue whilst bit the tip off his tongue whilst he was high, trying to sing with all the blood gushing out of my mouth, so this place has very fond memories. Well, don't sound too he's going to have a lisp if he's bit the tip of his tongue off, so listen out for that, his new record. Has Harry Styles got a lisp? You heard it here first. That's where it happened, that's why it's happened. But so what? He took magic mushrooms. It's like drugs gets the creative juices flowing, doesn't it, I suppose, but depends on how good you were in the first place. That's questionable. Boxing hero Ricky Hatton let his finances take a beating by spending £830 on one steak for his dinner. So Ricky Hatton's on holiday. Everyone was talking about him last week when everyone was saying they was fearing for his health because he was pictured with his t-shirt over his head, pissed out his head, dancing around the bar. I don't think I think that's just a fucking typical Brit on holiday, and he's having a fucking good time. But this is where he's bad for his health when he question his mentality, if you like, when he's paid €920 or equivalent £830 just for one steak. The manager of that restaurant must have been like that. So it's not standard. They haven't just charged him. That's the standard. But he ordered it and didn't check the menu. So he said he bought that and a bottle of champagne. So we ended up with a £1,747 bill. But he's a millionaire, so it's fuck all to somebody. And you're on holiday, you splash out, don't you? But he said he didn't realise. And a steak, a ribeye steak, on another restaurant would be 25, 30 quid, wouldn't it? To come back at 830 quid. So I wonder if he wasn't dancing around with his t-shirt over his head after that accidental purchase. So I don't even know if I was a millionaire whether I could even go, yeah, I'll have the £830 one. When you know it's just the price based on, if it was something rare you couldn't get anywhere else, fine. But if you can measure that up to any other restaurant and get the same thing for fucking 25 quid, I couldn't buy it, because you're just being fucked over, and just because they think you've got the money. Mel B did a talk Q&A show, brutally honest and fabulous, on Sunday. She's just talking about, I don't know, what's she talking about? Not really interested. She's basically just talking about her relationship with the other band members, and I did cut something out in particular. I forgot what it is, so let's move on. We're not really interested in what Mel B has got to say. She's said it all before. We already know, don't we? Rod Stewart is having a sale, putting some things into auction. Household items, including dead animals. The Hot Legs Hitmaker is putting some stuff up to auction in Essex. I've just pulled this out just to show 4 of the chairs that they've put up, which are going up for sale. Look at those 4 chairs there. Are they 4 the ugliest chairs you've ever seen in your life? Sorry, podcast people, but imagine 4 chairs that look like they've got curtains draped over them, very bright, horrible colours. They look like the Spice Girls could use those on their new tour or something, couldn't they? But yeah, absolutely horrible. If you want 4 really, really horrible chairs, I'd like to see how much they go for, just because if they were anybody else other than Rod Stewart's, they'd go for nothing. So let's just see how much they get on the back of it being Rod Stewart's. let's just see where we are with this because we're running out of time. Was it the Ben Stokes saved the Ashes tour the other day, didn't he, with his amazing... I need to watch the rerun of this because I was out all day and I didn't realise saw all the messages of people going, "Oh, fucking brilliant, blah blah blah." Cricket's a long, hard to watch game, isn't it, if you're watching it, but I don't mind watching it in the highlights where it's all like you get all the best bits in one go. So I like to watch that last innings where he's turned the Aussies over, because the massive Aussies are right big on cricket and they slag off the Brits in their papers. I remember that when we was over there. So they'll be licking their wounds after that. So they won't be too happy. So it'd be good sporting rivalry. And he said it. He put on his Twitter, was it? I fucking love Test cricket, and I don't care if I get fined. They shouldn't be fined for that, should they? It's an expression. If you get fined for swearing, I'll probably need a few 50 quids every time I do one of these videos. But it's obviously the rules of cricket, the gentlemanly spirit. But they're talking about here, he should get knighted and stuff like that. And why is it as soon as somebody does something half decent, sporting or otherwise, no, sporting, forget otherwise, somebody does something decent like that, all of a sudden, he needs to be knighted, he needs to be a sir. He doesn't need to be knighted, he doesn't need to be a sir. I couldn't think of anything fucking worse than have to become a sir. We can turn it down, but you might feel the pressure to do it. But why would you want to be a sir? Especially how young he is. It would just be... It's not, because you would just feel it's not worthy of... I've done what I do. I play cricket. I fucking smash some balls and everything. All of a sudden, I'm this kind of above anybody else in society. I'm a sir. I'm like like Sir Bradley Wiggins. He's fucking won a load of bike races. Brilliant. Doesn't need to be a sir. And it's kind of like, it doesn't go well with him, Bradley Wiggins. The sir doesn't fit him, because he's a bit of a lad and a bit of a mud and a bit of a cool dude, and he's a sir and he's a bit poncy, a bit knobby. If you're going to give out sirs, give it for the fucking right reasons. Where's the sirs for people who save people's lives in Grenfell Tower and shit like that, or did a Rambo thing on the battlefield, or that sort of shit? Where's their sirs? They're not sirs. But you're a sporting hero. You get all the sirs and all these music, services to music and that. Who wants to be a sir? David Beckham wants to be a sir, doesn't he? I don't get it. You've got all the money, you've got all the fame. You don't need what. It's almost like fucking the unattainable. You can't buy them. You can't give them money. They got money. You got to give them something else. That's the kind of next step in life or something, isn't it? Right, where are we going to go? Boris Johnson's been given shit for saying that pork pies, got into a row over pork pies, the Melton Mowbray factory. The PM said that the pork pies are exported to Thailand and Iceland, but not the US due to red tape. I think this is all about the US trade deal and whatever else, but Matthew O'Callaghan, head of the Melton Mowbray Pork Pie Association, said he wasn't aware that the pies even went to Thailand or Iceland. And that's kicked off. He added the pies weren't best suited to export markets because of their short shelf life. And then this has sparked a brutal reaction from Downing Street, which insisted the pies were exported and that the truth would out. It's like fucking... It's almost like there was something, they're talking like it's something of any kind of relevance. The truth will out. We know that how dare you say that? You're making us out to be this. We insist that the pies were exported. So they're making a big deal about pork pies there, whereas like when other stuff, the truth should out, they don't give, swerve, avoid and whatever else. So he's got his knickers in his wrist. And you can't imagine people in Thailand or Iceland buying pork pies anyway, could you? Unless they're going to some kind of British stall over there or shop or something like that. But yeah, so and then the makers of the pies, Walker and Sons, said that it had shipped to both those dark markets just to diffuse the situation, but no longer did. It sounds like an argument that should be more relevant for, you know, the arms sale and all that kind of stuff, you know, like the fucking truth, a brutal reaction and the truth will out and all that sort of stuff. Not pork pies. It's like rhetoric is the word I'm looking for that should be used for those kind of disagreements. But anyway, so there you go. Pork pie row, pork pie gate. Right, we're going to be giving up on this now. I'm going to. Labour will ban the import of all wild animal trophies. The party wants to stop hunters returning with souvenirs stripped from endangered species such as lions, elephants and rhinos. There you go. It's a step in the right direction if you want to go, if you're interested in that. Why that is not even standard anyway is unbelievable. Why they have to make that a policy. Where's the fucking Tories on that one? Hey, someone said the shooting and importing of animals so that their heads, antlers and skins can adorn the trophy rooms of few wealthy hunters is cruel and indefensible. Yeah, so there you go. So if that's your thing, then, and it should be, it should just be standard to all parties, and then everybody can, you shouldn't have to think, oh, I vote Labour because I believe in that. It should be everybody fucking on board with that one, but there you go. Tell that to the fucking next to no rhinos. Sex offenders are going into business flogging honey to the public. Sex offenders, rapists and paedophiles. Can't finish on this one. I was going to finish on this one. Rapists and paedophiles spend their days tending beehives at HMP Stafford, and they have launched their own brand called, here you go if you want to avoid it, Bespoke Honey. Not fucking pedo honey. Anyway, Bespoke Honey, which they now plan to sell to raise cash for the sex offender only facility. Well, you could at least, you know what I mean, raising cash for the sex offender register. Who's going to fucking want to? Oh, they need all the cash they can get there. They need to have some of our support, community support. Let's all put money in the bucket to raise money for the sex offenders facility. That's just a fucking no-starter, isn't it? No one's going to buy that honey. I certainly won't buy it. How else are they getting their urges? You know, their urges might be ending up in the honey. They're not getting it from any other situation. So, residents, staff, and the community have worked really hard together to make this happen, and are incredibly proud of their achievements. Cons have also built an assault course to keep the jail's goats. Well, maybe it's the goats fucking copping it. They have used old benches to create play apparatus. Sounds like they're keeping them way busy to keep their minds off fucking sex urges by the sounds of it. Right, you make bees, you build an assault course, you tend to the goats, you do this. Whatever you do, don't think about shagging. Strange business, but no one's going to buy that honey if they know where that's come from. Sex offender honey, you'd have to leave that on the label, wouldn't you? Anyway. Last thing I know, watch the Foo Fighters at the weekend. That was good. The Foo Fighters at Reading Festival. I want to finish on that. They fucking know how to rock, don't they? Proper, like, that's how you want to play a guitar. Really. When everyone gets a guitar and wants to just fucking make a lot of noise, scream, make a lot of noise, and that's the fucking one. That the Foo Fighters. So they wowed the crowd at Reading Festival. And then they came. I thought it was strange. They had a picture of Oasis or Nolan Liam Gallagher on the drum. I thought that was a bit odd all the way through. But he made a reference to it later on, didn't he? Saying they're trying to get Oasis to, or made a point of saying that they should get back together and make a joke about them. Let's get a petition together. But the mad part of the set was when Rick Astley came on. I didn't know anything about that Rick Astley Foo Fighters collaboration, but Rick Astley came on the scene. I thought I was tripping. I thought that fucking Toxic Fumes had gone right to my brain. I was sitting there watching it Sunday night, wasn't it? And Rick Astley came on the stage and started singing "Never Gonna Give You Up," and the Foo Fighters were giving it all that. And he was like, I mean, I don't know if it was good or bad. It was good in the sense that it was a bit weird, but it's a shit song. But he fucking milked his it's not his moment of fame. He's been famous before, but he milked his moment back in the limelight. He proper blasted it out. He was loving it. He weren't like no shrinking violet. He was fucking like he was a member of the Foo Fighters for a minute, on his knees doing the fucking lick and air guitaring and everything. So if you didn't see that, you should watch that. It was quite surreal, is what I'm going to say there. I was definitely tripping over if I was on fucking mushrooms or what. But Rick Astley came on and sang with the Foo Fighters, Never Gonna Give You Up. I don't know whether that's ever going to sell any records, but it's a strange collaboration. But it was interesting, let's say that. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Kind of get back tomorrow, so see you later. Bye.